で、こんにちは。
で、どうすりゃいいかな。
それは、フルスクリーンができま
これか。
す。はい。
これでもうシェアしてんのかな。
はい。
で、マイクがこれしかないんだよね。
あ、
つけてて、
テスト、テスト。
本当に。食べてる。
はい、こんにちは。はい、テスト、テスト。あ、テスト、テスト、テスト。
入ってない。もっと
入ってないですよ。
聞こえてる。
テスト、テス
あ、それは近すぎ、近すぎ。ここにつけて、
ト。あ、はい。
少し大きめの声で。それね、ちょっと、
そうなん、お願いします。
これを
あ
どうすりゃいいかな。
あ、ダイレクションですか。
うん。これってどうだろ
テスト、テスト、テスト。はい、お願いします。
う。こえてる。大丈夫ですか。よし。国のかなと思って。あ、この雨で。先生にも声かけが。ズームを一般にしてる。つけてみるかと思って。うん。なん
はい。よろしいです。
それでは、あと2分ぐらいで開始時間なので、そろそろ始めようと思います。今日は、博士論文の最終公聴会。2つ、2本立てですね。13時からオラファン君、それから14時半から安倍さん、安倍君の、発表があります。よろしくお願いいたします。とりあえず、最初はオラファン君の発表で、主査秋元先生、で副佐が大口先生、三上先生、それと飯沼先生が今日、日本に来られないということで、ズームで参加になりますが、あと私、指導教員の私ですね。はい、それでは、あとちょっと2分ぐらいありますけど、どうですかね。やってありますか。よろしいですか。じゃあ、準備できたら、
はい。
スタートしてください。で、おおよそ30分ぐらいの発表時間で
はい。
すけど、あんまり、あの、ストリクトに切らないで、1、2分ぐらいはいいかなとしたいと思いますけど、
お願いします。
時間は30分。30分一応予定ですね。35分とかになるとちょっと、どうかなと思いますが。はい。じゃあ、いや、口頭発表が20分であと10分。いや、違います。30分で、質疑応答30分取って、1時間取って。ああ、そういうことですね。はい、そういうこと。規定では何もないです。ないですね。40分の調整。40分で、全然発表時間伸びても構わない。いいです。40分でもいいです。特に規定なかったので、40分ぐらいかな。じゃあ40分でもいいって。
おー、スピード。
それぞれの発表が終わった後で、レビューの方、臨室で、なんつうの、審査会を開きますので、よろしくお願いいたします。じゃあ、もしよろしければ。
はい。
はい。で、申し訳ないください。英語で会話がなりますので、よろしく。
はい、スタートです。はい、こんにちは。僕の名前はわらぱん、おりきぱんです。そして英語を話します。So today I am honored to present my defense for the thesis. So the presentation will be covered as following section. And for the introduction, I would like to describe about the background motivation and my approach, and the alternative and significance of my research. So in our daily life, we observe that people often violate the public ban in the public spaces. And one of the reasons is the concentration on the smartphone application. And this can impair the awareness of people of their surroundings, and also even worse, death. For example, the woman was killed by the train while she was using a smartphone while walking. And also for the situational awareness, the pedestrian crushed after a fireworks show. So here, moreover, in nowadays, the convenient things such for the application often provided on the smartphone application. So this impact my motivation. First, I propose to innovative the design concept, such a digital function that can different from the smartphone application. And I would like to free people from commanding or operating the function that to avoid such a mentioned problem as a background. And also, I would like to explore a new way of interacting of people and the digital function that should be in the future. So to achieve that, my design concept first, I would like to design such a digital function in the specific context that prompting the immediate response of the person. For the first, the function will be seamlessly integrated in the living environment that I will demonstrate in the next section for the each approach that I demonstrate for the approach. And the second, the interaction should be designed to impact the person instinctive reaction so that people, it doesn't need people intentional interaction to operate or command the system. And to make it happen, my approach is significant impact by the first, the ambient computing. So ambient computing is a concept for place or install the digital function in the environment seamlessly. But here, my approach is not only focused on the installation such a function only, but more seamlessly integrate the function that would impact the person behavioral response. And also the nudge theory concept, which is the concept impact my approach also. So the nudge concept is a proposed design concept for influence or design such an environment that impact person action or controlling. So here, my approach, I utilize the digital function that as a part of the nudge theory. So here, I expect that people naturally impact their desired behavior. So for the objective, the first, I propose to design interaction to seamlessly integrate in the living environment. So the system less noticeable and so ubiquitous. And the second, I would like to create such a new type of interaction between the digital function and the people. Such for the, it doesn't require people intentional interaction to operate command. And also I would like to implement an example and evaluate the effective of my approach to see or observe how effective of my approach is. So for the significance of my research, to explore what an ambient digital function should be like, that I would demonstrate in the next section. How can I demonstrate in each approach? And also to propose a policy of the interaction design that necessary realize such a function. So to achieve that, my research process first, I design the digital support for the cases. In this case, I designed such an expanded core idea to use a vibration or sound, and in which it needs to prompt a person action. And then I implemented the system that doesn't work for people intentional interaction or operate command system. And then to see how effective of my approach is, I evaluated the approach using one of the expanded core ideas, such as sound and vibration of the various modality in the environmental context. For the researcher, next, I would like to expand about my position in relation to the previous research. So as ambient computing is significant impact my research. First, the concept is to integrate the function into the environment. For example, EA is called a tempest scope, which is a physical visual display that can notify about the person of the weather condition, if it's going to rain or what's the weather condition outside. Then so that people can notice about the weather condition naturally. This is for example, for the ambient computing. And for the next person, the concept is to change the physical effort in each specific situation. For example, here they design the knot theory in the context for the elevator and escalator scene. So the purpose of them, they would like to invoke people to be more active, to use the stair by the cover, the stair by the piano style or the mimicking. And they hope that people can walk instead of using the escalator because of the fun or the enjoyment that they propose then people to active more. And also the haptic interface also significant impact my approach. Such for the we use such for the joy control and the smartphone application in nowadays. We receive and perceive such a sensation of the touch in the device. And also the C, now they merge would like to design just sensation to deliver to the virtual environment, to the physical environment using the haptic sensation. This I would like to, that I apply to my approach too. So for the originality of my research, the first, I would like to seamlessly integrate the function in our awareness of the environment that focus in both system installment and also the interaction design that should be considered. And second, to prompting a person instinctive response that without people intentional interaction, so people can living life naturally without consider the function. And also design an ambient digital function stimuli to direct interact with the user, such for the stimuli I design for the haptic interface that convey the sensation to the person. So for the concept, I would like to expand about the specific idea and the broader concept. So first, to make the design such a function ambient, I have two conditions to be considered. The first, I want to placing the system in the environment that the hardware is so less noticeable or physically hidden. And the second, I contextualize the response to the people everyday action, or I design just a scenario that match to the people lifestyle. So the response would be natural. For example, the first, when I'm placing the system into the environment, here I design such that equip the hardware environment in the scene. For example, the left side, I consider placing such a scene for the outdoor environment and have such the bush and the thing. So this time I design such a placement the loudspeaker on the environment so that people can less noticeable. And the left side for the vibration floor, for the scene for the floor, I install it beneath by the floor so that people also cannot see the system appearance. So then for the second condition, I contextualize the response to people everyday action. For example, after I install the function, here I consider such a design the stimulus to give some sensation. In the scene, I match such a sound sensation of the mosquito, the stimulus that match to the context of outdoor environment. So that I expect that the behavioral response they can imagine about the mosquito buzzing around and then impact their desired behavior. And on the right side also, when people feel something occurring by surrounding of the vibration, they might feel something surrounding change. So to achieve that, I have implementations and also the experiment that including the two approaches. For the first, and the sound stimulus and vibration stimulus, such for the expanded of the core idea to design such a function. So first, for using such a sound stimulus. So imagine that when the person in the scene for the outdoor environment during the COVID-19 pandemic, they're not aware about to have a social distance or safe distance. So here, I assume that people might feel some discomfort physically, such as mosquito buzzing around, or some staff might tell or instruct them to leave to have a social distance during the COVID pandemic-19. And then I assume that people might stand up and leave from the seat. So here, I would like to create such a sensation to create by the digital function. To make it happen, I designed such a system, including the original speaker that blend in the context as my approach for condition to achieve it. And then I designed such a sound pattern for mimicking the natural phenomenon such as mosquito buzzing. So I designed such an appropriate angle that impact the person on the center only. And then I use a user interface for control the interval speed and the volume and the interval time of the sound. So here is some demonstration. Direction of and then you have a two parameters, to stimulate the participant. So this is the interval time that I increase louder and expected. So to examine how effective of my approach is, I examine for the first, in this experiment, I prepare such a speaker that installed in the scene that less noticeable. And then I prepare the dummy person on the left and right that sit before and let the participant stay out of the scene. So when I instruct the participant to start, when the participants sit, the system will be deliver the sound. And then if the participant get up within the 2 seconds, according to the response rate of the sound, I judge that to be prompt by the system. And here is the sound pattern that I decided as the mosquito buzzing and also the interval time, and also the proposed sound effect parameter A is a proposed 3D effects by using mosquito sound source and 3D audio effects. And the B for the traditional audio effects using mosquito sound and the traditional audio surround sound using the warning sound. So for the result, participants more than 90% respond to the system that they react to leave the seat. And also before that, how to selecting the sound source, I have examined for the 5 Likert scale on how people or participants feel about the sound sources. For the first one, I use just for example, the dog barking, the mosquito buzzing, and explosion sound to be the sampling sound. And then for the 5 Likert, 10 participants, 5 participants, so select is really concerned for the mosquito buzzing. So here, I assume that participants feel something naturally for the context in the scene for the outdoor environment. So here is one of the example answer of the participant. So they asked about how do you feel about the situation when you're in the scene and have a mosquito buzzing. So they said that they feel like something more insect flying around or some mosquito buzzing. So here I assume that I can use the sound sources to be from in this specific situation. So next, I would like to expand about the vibration approach in the same core idea. So I have 2 scenarios to demonstrate. So first, the elevator scenario. Imagine that when the person stay in the elevator without realize that the door behind will be open. And then when they feel something occurring, like for example, someone coming behind or the lift lead to the desired floor, they might think about to exit the door. So here, I would like to design also such a natural phenomenon, such as this context by using the digital function. And another scenario, for example, this time, for the Q scenario, I not designed to be a natural phenomenon occurring, but I design such a metaphor as a video game, for example. In this situation, when a person get too close to the person, in front or behind, such they don't maintain a distance. I design when the person get too close to the person behind, the vibration would be occurring. And also, when a person get too close to the person in front, the system would be activated by vibration too. So here, when a person get back to the same distance or something safe, like a stable, they would be back and then maintain a distance. Is it that what I want to create such a sensation by digital function? So here, to make it happen, I designed such an interactive floor that include the 3 active floor unit, and also design such a function by the interactive by the sensor. And I designed just a user interface by GUI generated to create a shape, picture, pattern of the wave pattern. And also I designed such a wave pattern to to create such a psychologically effect that prompt a person action in the specific situation. And using the movement of the actuator or solenoid that I use. So here for the first and very first prototype, I create such a wooden prototype to observe how they perceive such a sensation that I would like to provide. For the first, I examine for the forward pattern and the backward pattern in the very simple prototype by the wood. So for the question, I asked them about how do you feel about the wave pattern for the increased wave speed in 2 directions, forward and backward. They said about like they feel something changed by the wave pattern and they can feel about the interval speed. This is next is about the force intensity and how do you feel. They interview comment. They say that most of them feel about the force intensity that prompt their physical. And then here I assume that I can use such a simple prototype to create such a sensation. So here is a demonstration of the interactive floor that I use. 3 active floor units and the 6 dummy floor unit. And the floor curvated by the X and Y axis appropriate with the foot sole. And also isolate wave pattern that can create the speed and interval speed of the people. To the foot sole sensation. So for the first experiment for the elevator scenario, I used such for the first I used the screen on the front and behind to create such a elevator scene, and then I asked participant to step in the floor number 2, so that the system activated. So when the person get back to the behind or find the exit door, I adjust them to be prompted by the system. So for the result, the high-speed wave pattern, more than 90% of the participants respond to the system that I designed for this scenario. And for the this scenario, I prepare 2 conditions. For the first A is the people waiting in the lineup using the device or smartphone. And also the B, people standing too close to the person behind or front. Here, for the both conditions, more than 90% they respond to the system that I designed to prompt them a sensation in the context. So for the discussion, first, for the 3 examination, participants respond to the system that I would like to design. So the first example for the mosquito, I observed that the approach works well. The similar design matched with the context. Such for I use mosquito that's matched to the outdoor environment, so that people respond to the desired behavior response in the context. And the second, for the elevator scene, it needs more sophisticated design for such a stimulus, so that it can remind such real occurring in a specific situation. So what I mentioned to sophisticated design, it needs to challenge to improve. Then I design for the situation I use just for the vibration. But it might be used just for the sound or visual effects to be appropriate more, and that might make the participant may feel something more naturally. So this is one of the challenges. And also the third, for the line-up scenario, the stimulus is not mimicking a real happening, but this time I succeeded to represent the physical barrier, such for they keep maintaining to the target floor. So for the discussion for the conventional approach and the reaction. So in general, when people see such a conventional media, such as signage, some tend to ignore the caution, and some understand and willing to obey such a information they respond. And also some, while they are distracted or talking together, they not care about a mere stimulus. So here, for the significance of the design concept of my approach, such a stimulus would be passed if it's alone for such a stimulus, that why they're distracted. So in my approach, I works when a stimulus designed well to be combined with the surrounding context. As I design such a mosquito buzzing in the outdoor environment context, so that I use the core idea to design just a stimulus that's matched to the context, so that people can respond that I expected. So here I would like to expand the core idea to design the other cases using the same core idea, that hope people can feel something occurring naturally. So for the advantage of the approach, so my approach not relying on the human awareness or moral, but instead is impact the desire, behavior, or people consent. And the second, I integrate smoothly in the background, presenting the simple and the ambient way of the digital function. So, for example, I show how to demonstrate the vibration system, design the context, and also the sound. I design such a sound in the specific situation so that people can prompt or might think about the natural phenomenon, and that impact their design behavior. And also, if we design well for the stimulus that matches the context, it could control how a person reacts. That I would like to expand it to the other scope too. And also the aspect needed to further improvement. For the first, you need to find a good pair for the context of stimulus. So not every stimulus that match to the every situation, but I have to select the appropriate way to deliver the sensation to the people, such for the stimulus and sound that match together. So I have to examine the parameter. And also I have to design such an implement physically in each specific situation. So I design each parameter that match or effective to each context of the scene. And also there are the case that implementation where scalability have the issue, such for the system for the vibration now is like limited in the limited scale. So I should expand it to the broader scope of the scale of the system, so that I expect that people can move naturally. And for the discussion for the as I mentioned, for integrate to the environment, I not only mention on only embedded the system in the context, but design such an interaction become seamlessly integrated in the context. For example, in our daily life, we have some smart speaker. This can require some communication in human style to order the sound or they receive some information. So it still requires a person, concise, conscious, and engagement. So this is different from my policy to design such an attempt of the design stimulus. And to design and make the stimulus in the environment. First, I design such a stimulus to create the experiences and also to impact the response and also to prompt the person signal changes. So here I can use such a design stimulus to make use to create the intervention strategy. And then first, I design such an environmental occurring by considering the interrelationships between human, stimulus, and also the environment. And also, I design just occurring by using the multimodality, such for the vibration, sound, and the visual. So that if the design is suitable for the context, it expect my approach to effective in the scene. So to make the ambient digital function in the context, there are two major to designing it. The first, to design such a function to prompt the people reaction in the context, while it doesn't require people intentional interaction to operate or command the system. And the second, to seamlessly integrate the function into the environment that consider the both in physical and the people behavior. So here, I do not pursue the effective of my to create a warning or the system, but it's out of my scope. So for the contribution, I can make use of integration the digital function into the environment. The first, I can expand the design strategy as for the psychological barrier, such using the virtual representation to impact the social motivation, such for using a sound or the something immersed surface that impact their desire. And also the fun and entertaining attention. That's one of the expanded core idea, such for the use the gamification that can arouse or prompt their attention. So this is a expanded of the core idea through design such as stimulus and the environment. So this finding result may yield a similar result depending on the circumstances as our design. So for the conclusion, my research is significant, providing such as important things to design such an ambient digital function into the context. So the first, I designed such a concept integrating in the digital stimuli into the environment. As for I expanded the core idea using the sound or the vibration to demonstrate how effective it is. And also I proposition of the outline capability of the create such ambient digital function that in different situations. So, and in this study, I demonstrate how can I design such a occurring by the stimulus or the environmental in each specific situation. And also the framework for the development of the research area concept. So here in my approach is work on the human conscious and without paying attention, different from the behavioral science insight, such for the nut theory. So the nut theory that require the decision making to make a choice, but instead my approach different from it. So for the conclusion, it's important to design such an interaction that match to the context so that we can, I can create such an ambient digital function that impact the design behavior. And also the idea made clear through the concrete implementation and experiment that match to my objective to show or observe how effective of my approach is. So this is a conclusion. So I published the international conference for 2 papers and also the international journal for 2 papers. Thank you so much. ありがとうございます。
はい、ありがとうございました。Now we'd like to have a question and comment from the audience rather than reviewers first. レビューアー以外の方の会場からの質問やコメントもいただきたいと思いますけど、It's okay whether in Japanese or English. You have 日本語でも英語でも結構ですので、もし何かありましたら、いかがでしょうか。よろしいですか。Okay, then we'd like to move to the question and comment session with reviewers. So first, we'd like to start from some reviewers. 下の方からまず一緒にお願いしたいと思うんですけど、じゃあ、どうしましょうか。本日先生、
Okay, thank you for your presentation.
Hi.
So, well, basically, it's very clear from your study. It's very logical.
Hi.
So I understood that you want to have that.
Yes.
So question about
Yes.
very first, your beginning.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when you started with the idea to implement seamlessly integrated.
Yes.
So why was it
Important.
so why did you do
Uh,
did you need the seamless
yes. 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 Why I need the seamlessly because as for the mentioned problem, people always in nowadays they use a device or smartphone application or things to cooperate with. So that can impair their awareness of the environment. So my goal, I want to free people from commanding, and that they may have have a quality of life like no accident or to make it not command people to do it, but let people naturally uh, do something that they want. But also the system also generate or interact, but without the human side to interact with the system. So that I hope that the future interaction design should be designed like seamlessly and also ambient digital function. Yeah.
Did you mean that by doing it seamlessly,
Yes.
you can make more people to do the right thing?
Yes. Yes.
So I think you need the evaluation to compare your seamless interest and well
the system.
The normal.
Yes. Yes. Conventional.
For example, the giving the warning message with the voice.
Yes.
And then which make more people to.
Yes. Yes. Oh, it's very interesting. Yes. Comparable groups.
Actually, I have a little bit different feeling that by doing seamlessly,
yes.
you have some other advantage. The people are very uncomfortable by listening to the strong message.
Yes, yes.
And if you can do it seamlessly, it may be more comfortable for the guest. But then mosquito sound is not maybe. So you should compare mosquito with some other comfortable sounds.
Yes.
Do you think there any aspect that you can evaluate your system with the comfortableness?
Yeah, actually, for the comfortable for the feeling when people receive the stimulus, as I use the mosquito in the scene because of I think that the stimulus that match to the context of the outdoor. So people might feel something like discomfort, physical. So for the how to say using another sound source is of how to say possible such for the create some natural phenomenon, but it depends on the circumstances and also the desired stimulus. Yeah, and I need to examine in each parameter also.
In the case of the vibration. So people answered that they felt the movements from backward, backward. So it means that you didn't succeed to do it 100% seamlessly.
For the vibration approach, this is that preliminary experiment just for to see the simple sensation, such for the how they perceive or feeling about it. So what I would like to use this scenario in the real prototype, that is when I match to the scene, I would like to create such a like people coming behind or something occurring surrounding. So that I not mention that the simple prototype to create some directional speed and let them to know, but I try to observe at the first step how they respond, and then I try to create this happening, this occurring by the system, and that I will create some ambient, and then people feel that.
The first answer would be something like I didn't know why I stepped forward. Something like that. They're different. The best answer of this one could be,
yes.
I don't know why I stepped forward.
Some participants step forward because they feel some uncomfortable in the scene that further.
Yeah, but if they notice that the floor is vibrating, it's not natural, it's not seamless. It's a very specific thing to your final target would be unconscious.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but in my intention, I would like to search for when people coming behind in an elevator, they might feel some vibration, so that I try to mimic or imitate the natural phenomenon. So but is it challenge to measure how people really feel of the person coming, or is it natural phenomenon? So it's a challenging thing for me to examine too. But for now, I try to create such a sensation that impact to the scene at first. But that as Sensei mentioned, is a very challenging exercise. So I would like to achieve it to categorize or know how they really feel. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
じゃあ、三上先生。
はい、お願いします。Very good. My question is, I have some several questions. You really focus on the ambient and seamless.
Yes.
I appreciate your idea because sometimes the obvious caution is not beautiful.
Yeah.
In this case, like sitting in a bench or something innovative.
Yes.
I know the situation or some sophisticated area. Focus on the seamless and also the ambient side.
Yes.
I didn't want to focus on the environment. So what is your idea, for example, any place in your life or some special space which should be focused on ambient or seamless?
Yeah. What I consider about the design environmental happening to search for this scene. This just one of my example that I face in my daily life too, like in the outdoor environment during the COVID-19 and during COVID-19 too, I would like people to have a social distance without construct. So this is one of my example. But for expand it for the another case, yeah, it's really important such for in the corner when people have accidents. So I would like to raise some assume scenario to do it too, and also in my daily life, it depends on the context and stimulus by design. So I think the core idea can achieve that too if I design well.
So ambient portion is very scary.
But
basically it is dangerous. So
dangerous.
We have to use other way of things. But I understand your idea is there are some situations with seamless and ambient as a more significant means. So I understand that. But please show more suitable
situation.
And one more question is, you are talking about nudge. Nudging is much easier for these types of situations because it's sometimes difficult to get a sign. But if people know, people should walk the stairs, but they do not want to do that.
Yes.
But using these types of stimulus, maybe the user really want to walk up
to play.
So for example, your vibration or the system can support these types of latching, change the more human activities. Like in my opinion, the best case is the line problem of the escalator. People stay in Kanto area, say left right, even though the right line is vacant. They always the station or the department always saying stay to right.
They block the way.
Use right. But if you implement your idea to these types of
people may stay in the same way, same line.
more better. But it is not seamless. Not be happy. But yeah, one of the you have you permitted many types of experiment. Some of the ideas must be seamless and ambient, but some of the idea not to be ambient or seamless. So
it's observed.
yeah, that's one of my. So anyway, yeah, I appreciate the final result. Many people recognize the vibration and also the ambient stimulus. And one more question is, are we collected quantitative data in experiments? See whatever the context of the stimuli matching the context of that.
Yes.
Maybe the people recognize, yeah.
So
I understand the thing now, but that is very
so for the result for the proposed approach, using the 3D audio effects. So I for now I assume that participant notify about the system and also for the interview comments before I select the sound sources, I use the file flaggers to see how the sound source that they feel in the context really. But however, this is also challenge, as Sensei mentioned, that they really thought about, is this a real actual mosquito or is this like something annoying of them? But yeah, this is maybe my challenge for the next challenge. I would have to prepare the experiment for the naturalness also, as Sensei said to like for example like an experimental and the control group, and then try to see the interest or how it different of between the group. Yeah, it is I have to prepare beforehand at first actually, and then this. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Inuma Sensei.
Hi.
Would you make some comments or questions? Please.
Okay. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. I enjoyed your talk very much. It was much more organized and well thought of, I think, than the prior presentation. Thank you very much. I'm very sorry I'm commenting from online. I do have a couple of questions and comments that I would like to make. One is that you have introduced about 4 theories that have influenced your research approach. And these theories, I think what they have in common is that they prompt some kind of behavior change by the designing of the stimuli, is how I understood. And I would like to know how you would consider where your approach would fit in relation to these 4 theories, and how you would think would contribute compared to these existing series. So that's my first question.
So for my fourth theory that I mentioned, so for example, the first one is the nut theory. The nut theory is that they use the design in the environmental context that influence the behavior. But this nut theory, they use the decision making to make a choice, such for the A or B, or to do this or do this. But in my position, I decide just stimulus to create such a impact the sensation like a nudge too, but it depends on the instinctive reaction. So it doesn't require people intentional interaction or decision making as a nut theory. So here is my position for the nut theory that could further contribute for the research scope, I think, the first one. And for the second, for the haptic interface. So haptic interface, actually most of theory, they focus on the develop the device, such for they use such a hardware design for the virtual reality that develop just equipment to deliver the sensation of touch to the physical environment. But in my approach, I use the haptic interface just for the usage of them that can deliver the phenomenon that impact their desired behavior naturally too. So in this my research scope using the haptic interface for just create some natural phenomenon and just for the focus on the usage of it, not develop it, not develop the haptic interface. Yes, it is just
Thank
impact
you.
of,
So you think this prompting of instinctive response
yes.
that you are using, it's kind of like so you think that's one of the new
Methodology.
contribution you could make to.
Oh, for the ambient haptic interface is just for the one of the approach that impact my
Mhm.
but not theory is I can further
Nudging.
develop. Yes, but yeah, for the fourth
Okay,
theory,
thank you. Mhm.
and also you said that the fourth theory is also ambient computing too. Is just I would like to design such a ambient digital function that can seamlessly integrate in environment. But in this current relation research, they appearing on the scene like a
Mhm.
for the physical visual display or something. Yeah, I would like to seamlessly and that not it's not
Oh,
force
I
people
see.
to. Yeah. So I think I mean
I
computing also
see. I see.
contribute. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It kind of connects to
Oh,
my
yes.
thought about how you talk about the digital, quote unquote, digital functionality. And I
Quality.
think you're talking more about and you talked in your discussion about how it's important to look into the social context or the context
Yes.
when you are designing.
Yes.
And I just want you to kind of explain what you think are the advantages of the digital as opposed to the analog, because in
Uh,
your examples from your series, I think some of them were actually more analog, but
mm,
considered more of the social context. For example, the nudging theory.
yes.
I think you were showing the well, I think in the one of the picture I saw the smokers, and that's a
Yes.
very analog way of nudging a person to do social good
Yeah.
per se.
Yes.
So what do you think is your take on the digital, the aspect of the digital?
Yes. So comparing to my approach proposing use a digital function and compared to the analog one, for example, the mosquito. Actually, my approach, I propose the alternative way to design such a function also. So it doesn't mean I can replace the analog one, but I can supplement and also the alternative. But however, which is in the I focus on the service scenario, such for the mosquito in the scene outdoor. Uh,
Mhm.
my propose that scene, I would like people to have social distance in the scene. So for the analog one, it might use some the signage or voice announcement. So for the signage, say that please, for example, please have a social distance. Is people
Mhm.
when they are distracted, they might not see the information or ignore them. And also, if
I
compared
see.
to the voice announcement, like people might feel listen to the music or ignore the how to say the familiar announcement by the sound. So it is
Mhm.
one my approach is like alternative way to create such a natural phenomenon so that people consciously uh, uh, reaction or thought it's like real happening to make an action like indirectly so that I think the analog one is also fine, but my approach, I think it can make more impact on how they feel, and I can control it by
Mm,
design
mm,
to occurring. Yes. Yeah.
I see. Thank you. Well, I think that's wonderful, and I'd like to add one this is
Oh,
just one opinion
this
about
is
the digital, is because you talked about scalability,
ability.
you
Yes.
know, and making it more social, you know, making as opposed to using it, you designing something and in an analog way, I think you can make a point that your system actually is
Mm,
can be scalable. Like for example, a mosquito sound in
yes.
certain country or region may sound a little different in
Uh,
different contexts, right? So these variations, it's hard to do in an
yeah.
analog way, but if you can actually have
Yes.
a very, you know,
Oh,
think of social context environment and
wow.
you could I
Yes.
think make an argument that your
Yes.
digital
Exactly.
functionality
Yeah.
is important for the scalability or the localization of certain, and
Yes. Yes.
it's better than the analog actually. So that's
Oh,
my opinion.
yes. It's
But
my name.
thank you very
Thank
much. That's
you so much.
I, thank you. That's all.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for the nice presentation.
Of course.
あ、飯沼先生、どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
じゃあ、最後に柿本先生。
はい、お願いします。
Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you so
The
much.
presentation was good.
Oh,
And I have first a, a few comments on
yes.
your
Oh,
dissertation.
dissertation, yes.
The newest one I received just yesterday evening.
Oh.
So
Sorry.
one comment is
Yes.
that you should add your published paper list
Oh,
in your dissertation.
yes, yes, yes.
You have references, of course,
Hi.
but not explicit paper list
Yes.
of your published.
Oh, like a
In the dissertation.
categorize.
I couldn't find the
Oh, categorize my publish.
Other than the dissertation.
That's the use of a thing. There's a risk.
I in
Try to update until now, yes.
Okay, then
There's a publication with
it's a separate
Oh, document, yes.
document for the official. I think you should include
Yes,
one page
one page.
published with in your dissertation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's an official document for the
Oh, okay.
but
My-
I think
yeah.
in the dissertation.
I for two journal.
And
Yes.
one question about your dissertation.
Yes.
In the previous, a couple of months ago,
Yes.
I received a draft,
Graph.
and I made several,
Comment.
very many comments
Yes.
on that.
Yes.
I couldn't, I didn't have a time to
Oh,
check,
I revised it.
recheck, because the newest document, newest dissertation
Just come.
arrived yesterday.
Oh, yes.
And
So
what's the question? How many my comments, how many of my comments you adjusted or you improved
Yes.
your paper, your dissertation?
Yes.
That's what I wanted to
yeah.
know.
So mostly it's a pronouns of mine. Like I use our and I. So I change all of
Yeah, I
everything in
noticed
my,
that.
and also the sentence that indicate about the unclear sentences.
Oh,
I
you don't have to mention the
Oh.
Specific
Oh.
issues, but how many percent
present.
of my, maybe I
Oh.
made 140 small comments.
I think
How many percent?
I think I try 100% to revise your comments and and yeah, and try my best.
So let's go on to the questions
Yes.
and comments
Yes.
to the presentation or the content
Yes.
of your research. You need to think about the criterion or criteria that your system should be used, or explicit sign or instruction is preferred. I'd like to know the criteria to use which.
Yes.
Because people may have a bad impression for the implicit or embedded environment to control the action.
Yes.
People may have, oh, I was controlled by the system. I want to have my choice.
Yes.
So that's a bad impression of your system.
Yes, yes.
So the situation may be limited.
Yes.
That's why you need some criteria. If do you have any observation about the criteria?
Actually, I didn't make a criteria to select each assumed scenario, but actually, as for the design in each scenario, I selected from the research problem or my experience to COVID in such for that impact during my study about the COVID-19. Everywhere have a sign, everywhere have some instruction. All three here that I usually here. So I think one of the main reason is I use criteria just from the public issue first, and then I think for the first step I need to create some criteria to how can I select the conventional or the ambient function. Yeah. I think it's really challenging for me to develop and make it clear. Yeah.
This is a research.
Yes.
So we don't have to be so sensitive about the criterion.
Oh, yes.
But you need to have some observation.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. Please show me page 15.
15.
This nudging system, page 15.
Oh, yes.
These are explicit.
Yes.
So people have the trick. People understand the trick.
Yes.
But your system is not noticed as a trick.
Yes.
So people maybe some
sensation perceive some phenomenon or
worrying,
anxiety, yeah, anxiety, yes.
So do you have any improvement on your system?
Yes.
That your system may have some explicit,
like obvious
visual or sound.
Oh, yes. So yeah,
is clear to the people. Everything is clear to the people. But
no when you see.
But the people is nudged. People are nudged as a
suddenly notice. Yeah. So
the situation that the people understand everything.
Yes.
But okay, I will just go away. But your current system is just the mosquitoes out. Wow, I will go away.
Yes.
What was that?
Yeah.
So that's some bad impression.
Yeah.
For example, if your mosquito trick is installed in a restaurant,
That's right.
I wouldn't go to the restaurant again.
Yes.
So that's maybe a future problem.
Yeah. So for the problem, I decide the stimulus that matched only in the specific context. Yeah, for the mosquito, and for the as I say, raise the question issue about how to create like the obvious stimulus or the symbolic something that let them the people understand subtly and then react. So actually now I have the contribution concept to expand it to other cases, but I think it's not clear yet. For example, I try this one is not obvious too, but for example, this I think the move to draw. I see the purpose that my thought. I would like people to more active, like people always like in today they work a lot, not exercise. So I would like them to move and then something intrigue their how to say their need to move because they saw something like a drawing from the floor here and then we can observe to the screen. So that and in my expectation, I would like to uh, unintentionally make them to move, and that is my desire. And then they can come like easily by their attention or they want to have an entertaining game. So they can move, and I expect and then they can come as they want to have playing or something as a obvious thing that they have. I come up now here. So one of my expanded case. And then another one is kind of same like seamlessly. That's for this one. When people use smartphone while walking, I try to design just the sound like a ooh, like a negative message to let them like, oh, it's not appropriate to use the phone while walking or to stop a while that and then just aware the situation. Just yeah. I would like to install some awareness of the environment and then let them aware in action.
Sense of control.
Yeah.
It's important to give people give people sense of control.
Control.
That's
Yes.
that's one of the fundamental
Yes.
issues for user interface.
Yes. Sense of control. I think it's my future challenge. Thank you so much.
That's all. Okay. 再度何かまたコメントしたい方とかおられますか？よろしいですか？はい、じゃあ以上で、ブラファン君の、発表並びに、口頭諮問終わりにしたいと思います。どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
じゃあ、審査担当の方はちょっと。
よろしくお願いします。井上先生です。
ありがとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございます。
飯沼先生。
飯沼先生。
はい。
もうちょっとだけお付き合いいただいても大丈夫ですか？
はい、はい、大丈夫です。すいません。はい。
すいません。ちょっとじゃあそのままお願いいたします。はい。
ありがとうございます。
一旦これは。それから、どこで止めるの？これか。
これ。